read data in a Python, okay, we are using the library called as pandas library. So before discussing about the pandas library to read the data, so let's first try to understand what type of data we may read. So we may read Excel sheet data, or we may read some CSV file format data, or we may read some text data, that is input.txt, sample.txt, that is some documented type of data. Or sometimes we may also having the file with MP4 files, MP4 files, some JSON files, or some XML files. Sometimes we may also need to read such type of files data. Clear? So from all these things, whenever we are building a machine learning model, mainly we are preferred comma separate value format data, that is called a CSV file format data. Excel sheet data, CSV file format data, we can call it as structured data. We call it as the structured data. And the text data, that is documented data, MP3, MP4, each type of data we can call it as the what's called as unstructured data. Unstructured data. JSON, XML files of data were called as semi-structured data. Called as the semi-structured data. There are three categories of data. Structured data means the data we're having in terms of the rows and columns. Excel sheet data, or for example CSV file data, we're having some set of the rows and columns. That is called structured data. But whereas in text, MP3, MP4, we don't know how the data is arranged. Just like multimedia data, okay, images data, okay, for example text data, these are all called as unstructured. These type of file formats supports the unstructured data. At JSON, XML files of data, we can call it as the semi-structured data. So first try to understanding how to read CSV file format data. So in general, CSV file format data having some set of the rows and some set of the columns, just like, okay, for example, we're having some SID, okay, and then SID, okay. So after that, we're having some S name, okay. After that, we're having, for example, some branch. Clear? For example, SID, for example, 101, some S name is some rows, okay. And the branch is just taking some CSC. For example, S name is some 102. Okay, name is for example some RAM, some branch is for example IT. For example, S is for example 103. The S name, for example, taken some Ginny. Okay, the branch is maybe some EC. Like that, it is some structured data. If you are saving this data, for example, go to file. File, save as. Okay, for example, file save as, we have to save as dot csv. Here Excel book is there, Excel data, or save as from XML. For example, taking some CSV. Okay, let's for example taking some CSV file format data. Okay, I can save it as, okay, CSV. Okay, so I must toss. Okay, like for example, the data can be saved as some CSV. This is called as comma separated values. a CSV, that is comma delimited. Okay, not this one, you have to save this one, comma CSV comma delimited. That means this data we have to save at any location. For example, I have to save at desktop, or for example I would like to save this data is particular location, maybe some C drive or D drive. For example, I have to save it, for example, E drive. Okay, E drive, I have to save this one. That means save it as book one, okay, as CSV file format. That is comma separated value. So now, if you want to read the data, if you want to read that data, we are using the library called as pandas library in Python. To read such type of data, we are using the library called as pandas library in Python. So now to read that CSV file format data in Python, we are having the function called as read underscore. If you want to read the CSV file data, we are having the read underscore CSV. Okay. Then within the underscore, then we write the file path where we are having that, okay, that CSV file, we are giving that file path. Okay, so what we have to do first, we have to import what import pandas as PD, just like how we import numpy. Similar, we are importing the pandas. Import pandas, it alias is PD. Now, that in this PD, we are having the one method called as read underscore CSV. Underscore CSV. The result I have to assigning to data frame. That's it. So now what can do is pd.csv. PD means the pandas alias. That means in general, if any method we are having in this library, in a pandas library, any method that are having in a pandas library, that can be accessed with pandas.read underscore CSV. But what I can do is I can create some alias name to the pandas, alternative name to the pandas. I given used as a PD. That's why import pandas as a PD. That means what the methods we are having in the pandas library, all the methods we are accessing with PD. That's why PD. If you want to read the any type of file in a Python, we are using the method called as read underscore CSV. It is used for reading the CSV file only. Okay, so now in this parenthesis we are giving the file path. That means where we are having our file. That file path I was given here. That's called the file path. What the data we are having in this file path, the CSV file. To that file, one data frame is created. One data frame is created. So simply remember the data frame is just like a table in a DBMS or DBMS. What RDBMS contains? Relational database management systems. That means we have to maintain the data as a table. Similar way, what the data we are having in the CSV file, to that CSV file, one data frame is created. The data frame means it contains a set of rows and columns like this. It creates just like a that table, but in Python the table we can call it as another name is called as the data frame. Okay, so what the data we're having in the CSV file, that can be, okay, pointed by which one? Data frame. So now by using this data frame we are accessing the data in that file. We're accessing the data in that file. Clear? So now this is simple statement we are using to read the CSV file. Okay. So now, but here we are using what we're using here. Here I am using Google Colab. That means here I am using Here I am using one cloud, Google Cloud platform. Google Cloud platform. Okay. So now in general, normal Python IDE or normal Jupyter notebook or by using some Anaconda software, we are using this statement. We are using this statement. For example, if you're having the data in our D drive, simply I can given as df equal to pd dot, okay, read underscore csv. Okay, for example, let's take as we are having our data in C colon under the folder, for example, data science colon, okay, for example, sample dot csv. Sample.csv, giving the path like this. That means we are having our file in a D drive under data science folder. Okay, likewise, we are giving the statement. But what I want to do is I am using the Google Colab here. Okay, so now that means in what mean Google what is meant Google Colab? For before using this Google Colab, okay, so before reading the data from the Google Colab or before if you want to read the data in a Google Colab, first we have to mount the Google Drive to the Google Colab. Why? Because if you want to use a Google Colab, we must need to sign in with the Gmail account. Okay, so after signing with Gmail account, simply we are giving the Google Colab, open the Google Colab notebook. Okay, so once if you open Google Colab notebook, if you want to read any data, if you want to read any data from the Google Colab, first we have to import the drive into the Google Colab. Import the drive into the Google Colab. Once import drive into Google Colab, then we have to mount the drive. Mount the drive means simply we have to attach the drive content. What the content we are having in a Google Drive. We have to attach that content into the Google Colab to the Google Colab. Then only we have to read the data from the drive. Hope you understood. Here, what I can do is here I was try to read the data from D drive data science folder. I would like to read the file, but here I am trying to read the data from the drive, Google Drive. Here I am trying to read the data from the Google Drive. If you want to read the data from the Google Drive, we have to attach the Google Drive to the Google Colab. We have to attach the Google Drive to the Google Colab. To attach the Google Drive to the Google Colab, we have to import, okay, drive. This drive we are having in a module called as a package called as from colab.google.colab. Google.colab, we have to import the drive. After that, drive.mount, we are having a method called to the drive. Okay, to the drive library, we are having a method called as the mount. Okay, then within the bracket, we have to give a single quote slash content slash. This is the mandatory statement. We cannot change this one. That means we have to mount the drive. Then force remount equal true. Then we can try to run this cell. Then we can run this cell. Okay, think today my laptop is a little bit so. Okay, for tomorrow I will try to use another laptop. Okay, so when we click on this play button, okay, so it can mount, okay, or it can attach our drive, okay, to this Google Colab. Okay, so now permit this notebook to access your Google Drive files. Okay, that means we are click on the connect to Google Drive. So to which Google Drive connect? To from which mail ID I am login. Okay, to that drive it can be connect. Simply I can click on this one. To ask. So it would ask to connect with some KPIN at the rate of gvp.in. Now I can give an as. I can give us some at that place you have to click on allow. Okay. Now it can Python. Okay. What is the main purpose of this pandas library? This pandas library in Python can be used for to performing data manipulations and analyzing the data. Analysis on data. Okay, we are using the pandas library, and in the previous class, okay, I was discussed how to import the file into the Google Drive, how to open your files from the Google Drive, and how to get the files from the Google Drive into Google Colab by using these one from google.colab import drive. Then we have to mount the drive. Then from the import pandas as PD, we can read the CSV file. If you want to read the CSV file from the Google Drive, we are using the read underscore CSV. Okay, so in this is the path of our CSV file in Google Drive, and index underscore column equals 0. That means it can remove the first. It can remove the 0th index in our data set, and that function can used to display the top 10 rows in our data set. The tail of 5 is used to display the bottom 5 records from the dataset. That was